And the thieves that have stolen 280 grand didn't even leave 50 quid for me to replace my locks, assholes. So things have changed over the years, and we've directed our eyes from TVs to our phones. And a couple of things I've watched over the years are these amazing viral videos of people getting their stolen stuff back. And there was a video of a guy in the middle of the countryside putting Apple AirTags in his ATVs and his equipment, so when they were left on the farm, if anything was stolen, he'd be able to find them. So he was putting one in the air filter, one in the seat foam, one in the dash, and basically if someone stole something, he could go on his phone and find where they were. You know, the AirTags pop off your phones, find you an exact location, ta-da, you get your stuff back. I didn't realise that this guy that was hiding AirTags in all his ATVs and his equipment was Mr. Cody from the amazing Whistling Diesel channel, which has basically gone through the roof. If there's a man that can destroy something tastefully and make you smile while being slightly angry, he is the man for you. Turns out, through watching his videos, he has saved me over £50,000, $70,000 in under a year just because of that video he made. So this video is basically a thank you to that gentleman out there that came up with this amazing idea. And basically what I would do, if I had any vehicles that were worth over $10,000, what I'd do is I'd put these Apple AirTags in the vehicle. And you always put two. You put one at the front, up in the roof lining, and one at the back. Because when you jump into the vehicle, any Apple device will say, hey, there is an Apple device following you in the vicinity, and this is basically designed to save young ladies from getting followed home by creeps at the end of their evening out. So if someone stole my motorhome or one of my vans, they'd jump in the truck and their phone would go, there is an Apple device following you. So they'd find it and they'd bin it out the window, no problem. But they wouldn't go check in the furthest part of the vehicle in the back. So what I do is on like an RV or a motorhome, I pull the floor up, get a 30mm drill bit, drill a core bit in the floor, put it in, put the bit of wood back down, and then vinyl it over. So even if you were really searching for it, it would be hard to find. You know, I did this a few times, but I never ever imagined it would pay off. You know, I've done videos in the past about me losing 14 vehicles a year, and that's a real fact, and that's the reason I've done this. And I had a Ford Transit, which is basically a big van with a tipper body on the back that's used by builders to dump rubble. And I put one AirTag in the roof, and I got a magnet box off Amazon, and I put another AirTag in the back. I have over 100 cars, so if I miss one now and again, I can imagine someone's borrowed it or someone's using it, I've just parked it somewhere else. So I turn up to work, and 2 days later, we're about to lock up, and my colleague goes to me, Sam, where's the transit tipper? I was like, oh, I don't know, the keys are here, it's parked somewhere, don't worry. And he's like, no, it was there 2 days ago. So I'm like, oh, damn it, I'm gonna have to phone my wife and explain to her that I've been a complete dick and I've lost another car just because I'm irresponsible and I've got too much crap that I don't need. So what can I do? So I start to drive home and think about how it wasn't my fault, or how it definitely is my fault, but how I can explain it to her to make me not look as bad in the light. And then I go, oh my God, I watched that video online about AirTags, so I put AirTags in it. This is the first vehicle I can actually test it. So I went on my phone and it was a mile away, right? So what these guys are doing, they're stealing something, driving it a mile away and dumping it. Well, at least this is what I thought, right? And then what they do is they leave it there for a week, and if it doesn't move, they know that the vehicle's not tracked, right? And then they go back and get it, and they'll dismantle it and sell the parts off. Well, this gets even more special, okay? The car got stolen at 12 o'clock at night, and by 4 o'clock in the morning, it was dumped in the location it was, because I found it on my Apple AirTag, and I watched my cameras, and I watched the cameras of where I found the car dumped in an old people's home behind a bush, right? New number plates on it, door locks drilled out, very redneck job. Like if I'd had to go and I was in the sun today, that's how I'd do it. But basically, what they'd done is they'd gone round to ATMs, right? They got a digger and they were ripping ATMs all out of the gas stations and stuff in the area. And then my lovely tipper was used to go and apprehend the ATMs. And then they'd go and obviously unload them and then dump my truck. So my truck was used for stealing £280,000 worth of money, and I didn't even know about it, right? So when I finally get my Apple AirTag and I go and pick up my truck and I'm driving it back because of the original keys so I can use the transponder and turn the black box like we used to do back in the day in the Ford Escorts, right? and I'm driving it back. I'm phoning the police in England. And in England, you've got 999, which is like a little bit like the 911 sort of phone number in America. But in England, you've got a 111 for non-emergencies, right? I'm on the phone for 50 minutes and I'm like, do you know what? Stuff this. I've got my vehicle back. It's going to cost me $100 to get some like new door locks. And the thieves that have stolen 280 grand didn't even leave 50 quid for me to replace my locks, assholes. If you're watching this, at least donate to my PayPal or to my GoFundMe. I got the car back, didn't think nothing of it, and parked it out of the way because I know they'd stolen it once. I didn't want it stolen again until I got new door locks in it. And I don't mean I want you to steal it again. I mean, I'm trying to be precautious here. About 2 months later, I have a police officer walk in my car sales office and say, "Are you Mr. Hard?" I said, "Yep." "Are you the owner of BG57 ZWR Ford Transit?" I went, "Yep." "So, Mr. Hard, you're under arrest for suspicion of theft." And I'm like, "Ah, ah," and I'm like a little girl. I'm squirming. I've never been in trouble in my life. I'm a really good boy, you know, honestly. I'm like, "What have I done? What have I done?" Like, I don't know what I could have done. And I went, "Hang on a minute. 2 seconds before you arrest me." I got my phone out, right? And I documented this video. So I'm going to play the video in just a minute. And I go, I'm on the way to get my transit and I'm worried that it's going to be in someone's garden, and I'm riling myself up thinking I'm a hard nut, but I've never been in a fight in my life. I would have gone there and talked the talk and run like an athlete, you know. But basically, I made videos of the minute I lost my vehicle, me going to find it with my Apple AirTags, arriving at the vehicle and looking at the damage. So the police officer basically said, "Let me see." And I said, "Was it stolen on this day?" He said, "No, it was the day after all these ATMs were stolen." And then it came out in the news that there was £280,000 worth of money stolen. And I think the police officer thought I was that stupid that I would go and rob a load of banks with my own vehicle and leave the number plates on it. Like, I'm not that clever. So because of my success with these Apple AirTags, which also have my logo engraved on them, because if you buy 4 for $99 or £99, they engrave your name on them for free. So if you do turn up somewhere and the police go, "How can you prove it's yours?" I can say, "Well, that's got Sam Hard written on the AirTag hidden under the floor just there." So not only do I have the keys in my hand, but you know. So basically I'm thinking, that has done me really well, these AirTags. So I invested in another like 20 of them to hide them in, you know, maybe like 5 grand and above cars now, because they've already saved me 20 grand on one occasion. You know, it just takes a couple more and they just pay themselves off over and over again. And a lot of cars nowadays, you know, if you lose a 5 grand car, it's best just to write it off your books and not worry about it than go for insurance, because your premium will go up. It's pointless. So then I bought 3 or 4 RVs, and basically, like I said before, I drill them out, I hide them in different areas, but this time was a bit different. So my dad was working at the car sales because I was gallivanting in America telling VINwiki stories when I get a phone call from my dad. "Sam, have you lent the motorhome to anyone, or the RV?" I went, "No." He's like, "Oh, it's gone." So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? We got back to the UK and I knew where the car was on my app. So basically we jumped in the car and we drove to the location, once again, probably 2 miles from my car dealership. And it was my exact RV, right? And I'm expecting to see, like the previous one, the door locks and were all drilled out, but this was a professional job. They must use a tool which basically goes into the Ford locks, finds out where they are, and then you can turn them and unlock them without damaging anything at all. Well, this vehicle here had no damage locks. And when I turned up, I've even got a video of me being so scared to even enter it because all the curtains are down. It's all steamed up like someone's been fornicating all night in it, right? And I am so scared that I'm going to open the door and get punched or someone's going to run out of it. I'm basically hyperventilating in a car park in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere behind a fire station. Number plates were different, but no damage. So I phoned the police and I'm on the phone saying, "I found my vehicle," and they're like, "Do you want to wait for a police car?" And I'm like, "No." And I've got a couple of guys with me. I'm like, "Film this. We're going for it." I open the door. There's no one in it. I'm really lucky. I find my original number plates hidden in the back. But the ignition lock, right? On most cars, you have a hole which is shaped to your key. You put the key in and the hole changes as you turn the key. On a Ford of like the 2008, 2009 mode, you put the key in and the ignition lock moves behind the surface of the hole. But when you put it in, it moved round. So I had the keys with me, but the ignition was already round over here. So their device obviously bypasses the design of the key and turns the ignition. I got in there with a hair clip, clipped it back, started it up and drove the RV back. It's one of those details again where these people that are opportunists will go out and drill your locks out and steal a vehicle on the click of a moment. But there are people out there that plan this so bad and so meticulously that I can imagine there is so much danger in going to get your own vehicle back. So remember, if you're Whistling Diesel and you're going to go get your stuff, take a hammer.
When you get a ticket, no matter where it happens, it's more important than ever to fight every one. And the perfect partner in that fight is the Ticket Clinic. When you get a ticket, you're facing costly insurance premium increases, points on your license, fines, risk of suspension, jail time, and they can help you avoid all of that. They've got offices in Florida and in California, but they can help you fight a ticket through their network of attorneys no matter where in the United States you get one. You can text a picture of your ticket to 305-305, or you can check them out now at the link in the description below. So thank them for their support of VINwiki, of CarTrek, and fight your ticket with the Ticket Clinic.